If you're looking for a title company that's easy and no headaches at closing, please contact Alan, Chief of Staff at Simplicity Title. They're covering the state of New Jersey. What's going on? Welcome to Let's Talk About It. Let's Talk About It is a show that talks about entrepreneur, home ownership, and financial literacy. Again, this is what we do, and this is what we're all about. Today, I have my special guest. I have Jennifer from the Scott team and Julius from the Scott team. And they're going to be talking about what home ownership is all about and some of the turbulences that they're hearing to share with you, and not to be afraid when it comes to finding that home or listing that home. So again, I'm going to start with Jennifer because ladies first. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. How are you?
Nice. I'm here enjoying this beautiful Friday.
Yes, same here. Same here.
Yeah. This morning we saw each other on unforeseen circumstances.
Yes,
so I want to pay my respect to our friend, Lisa. She did retirements and she worked at Prudential. Unforeseen things happened. She got sick and she passed away. And this morning we went to see her services. So this is why we're in a situation of all black but beautiful.
Yes.
Right. So Jennifer, take it away.
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking, Jimmy. How are you?
Of course. I'm happy to be here. It's Happy Friday, right?
Same here. Yeah.
So Jennifer, those who don't know who you are, dive into that today, please.
Yeah, sure. So hi, everybody. My name's Jen Scott. I'm a real estate agent with the Scott Team NJ, and we are out of the Maplewood office of Coldwell Banker. And although we're out of the Maplewood office, we work all through Essex County, Union County, Somerset County, Middlesex County, Passaic. So we work all Hudson County. We work all through New Jersey. And it is very important to us that we work with our clients to find them the home of their dreams or to sell their home so that they can move on to the next chapter of their lives.
Nice. I like that. And they do a very good job, Jennifer, that is. Julius, yeah, man, you just know it all when it comes to Essex County, Bloomfield Avenue. We were talking about that in the green room. Yeah, Jay, so take it away, man. Who are you and what should people know about you and what's going on in today's home journey?
So Julius Scott, Maplewood office with Jen, my wife. Right?
You better include that.
Hence the we.
Hence the we, right.
So I've had my license since 2011, but seriously doing the business since 2017. We're just happy to be in the business because I think our story comes from working with the agent, trying to find our first home.
Right.
And we saw all of the misses and like the lack of education we received. And so we got into the business to fill that gap, to make sure that we're giving our clients the best information so they can make an informed decision. So, I mean, I think that's like really the essence of who we are. It's about educating and getting people to understand the process each step of the way.
You guys do a good job with that. If you're working with them, every time I get something from them, you get like the whole, this is the lawyer, this is the lender, this is what's going on, this is the timeline. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, shit, I ain't gotta do nothing. I just gotta get to my assistant. I can't do everything. Like, you're thinking like you have to double check and follow through it, but you guys are very structured in what's needed and how one should go about when they're getting the key to home ownership, right? So you guys do a very good job. I guess that's the reason why, hence you do what you do, because you've seen it when you were dealing with those and you didn't get what you were looking for. You're like, man, hell no, I can't be doing this. This is not right. I'm spending all this money per month and yet I'm not getting enough information on what I'm spending. So you guys do a good job with that. To be fair, like no one wakes up and says, I'm going to be a realtor, right? So there was some pain in doing what you did. And now you guys are great at what you're doing. So kudos to you and how you guys are building this team. So Jennifer, when it comes to all the social things that you do behind the scenes, telling the story, fulfilling one journey when they get the key towards home ownership, how do you put that together and how does that help you grow with others around you because you put this story together about welcome to this new purchase, that blah, blah, blah. I'm jacking it up, but I'll let Jennifer talk about it because she does what she does best.
You're not jacking it up. But I will say that buying a home, because a lot of our stories do involve new homeowners.
Right.
Or even homeowners that maybe have been in a home for a long time and
The move up buyer.
are moving up.
Right.
So it's been a while for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their stories are remarkable. Every situation is new. People are buying and moving and selling for unique reasons. And usually they're at a junction in their life.
Right.
And so their stories are compelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that all of us can identify with their stories if their stories are shared, right? And so I try to do that to show more than just like, hey, we're at the closing table, there's champagne and flowers, right? There's a story. There's usually a struggle, you know, just in their personal lives that the culmination of, you know, the end of their transaction is something that they're triumphant about. So I think that's worthy of being captured really for them, because these are things that we share with them at the end. It's something to kind of chronicle their journey.
Yeah, milestones are important, right? Especially sometimes, like to what you were saying, right? Sometimes there are hiccups and you don't know what one is going through when they're going through the process, right? Maybe something happened in their family. It's not like they're confessing, or something happened, I need to let my realtor know that something happened. They're just going through it. They're like, I'm minding my business. They're helping me and move on. But because of what you're doing and how you're, to your point, chronicling the life cycle of home journey, it makes them capture that, okay, maybe whatever I was going through, that video, that story really helped me feel comfortable with the home purchase. And that's how you have a great referral business to this day, right?
Thank you. And it's important to us too to do it with integrity.
Right.
And it be genuine, because we want to respect what them or their family or anybody involved is going through.
Right.
However, we know that usually when you're going through something, you're not alone.
Right.
And so being able to share that with people can be an inspiration to other people. You know, you could be thinking, hey, I want that, but I'm not sure how to get there.
Right.
And seeing this person went through these things and got through it and they're on the other side of it, I think is, it's inspiring.
It is, definitely. So Julius, what are some of the things that buyers and sellers get wrong in today's market, man?
Man, that's a loaded question.
It is. But you do a very good job explaining it, so that's why we got to talk about it. That's why let's talk about it.
From the buyer side, I'll keep it simple.
Right.
I think buyers, sometimes they look at these properties as like end all, be all, dream house.
Right.
And unless you have dream house money,
you mean champagne money?
you know, you have to look at it differently than that. Like you have to say, all right, I might not be able to get my forever home in this first deal. I need to look at my budget and decide what fits into that. And the other thing that I see a lot of is not being accepting of a kitchen being a little outdated, a bathroom being outdated, painting. And when you think of it that way, you can miss a good opportunity. And we actually had a buyer that we worked with earlier this summer. She was able to look past the paint. She was able to look past the kitchen.
Right.
She was able to look past all of the things that are cosmetic, right? And because she looked past the cosmetic needs of that house, she was able to get a house, and she got it for a good deal.
Right.
She didn't overpay for it. Right. And actually came out great because it appraised for more than what she paid for it.
Boom. I love that. Right.
And then she fixed it up, and we now have it on the market for her to rent out as a 2-family. And she looked past some of the items that some people just can't look past.
It's unfortunate, right? Because some people, we live in a world, we want things instantaneously, right? We see it, I have it, I want it, but not knowing everybody's starting point is different, right? And so sometimes you have to ask yourself, what am I willing to give up to have what I want, and then build from that, right? And those conversations are tough, right? Just again, because we want things yesterday. But it's kind of cool that you did a good job showing what this looks like, If you trust me and what I'm telling you, what can come from it, you're going to make a return. And
absolutely,
that's Just like that. Looking for real estate lawyers servicing all real estate need? Please contact John Georgie, servicing the state of New Jersey.
Buyers have to understand you save money on the house that's not all bells and whistles.
Right.
You absolutely save. I mean, it could be a 20 to 50% markup on a house that's all already done.
Right.
And you can get a house that's not done, pay less. And I don't think people truly understand how compounding interest works.
No, they don't.
Right.
No.
So, you fixing it up. Yeah, you might have to come out of pocket a little bit of your own money, but it's not in the mortgage.
Right.
And that's not compounding interest that you're paying over time and paying more for.
Right.
You ultimately pay less. So, it's
just like credit, right?
Yeah.
People don't know how to use credit.
Mhm.
So therefore, that's why we have derogatory issues when it comes to some of their credit reporting. To piggyback to what Julius was saying, this is why we do have what's called a renovation mortgage, right? There are two styles, home style and 203K. Both of them do renovation mortgages. However, they're a little different in how they use it, right? One, because they're going through FHA, there are certain guidelines that one needs to follow in order to complete the project. With home style, you can pretty much put a sauna in your living room and they wouldn't question it. However, the rate, the terms, they're different, but in the end, they still provide what's called a renovation mortgage. And these are non-traditional products that you get into in the beginning. However, you refinance into a traditional product because now it's a fixed interest rate at a lower cost to you. We do that, and we just do that. That's good. Going back to Jennifer. So Jennifer, you do a lot of business, but you also do a lot of community stuff. Can you expand on some of the things that you got going up and down Bloomfield Avenue?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things that Julius and I care very much about, as we talked about before, is making sure that we share people's stories, right? So, we have a lot of relationships with business owners and just various, players in the community.
Right.
And, we try to share their stories, where they came from, what their inspiration is for starting their business, or, whatever it is their involvement is in the community, so that not only are we helping to garner support for them, but also so that people in the community know what's available to them, because everybody doesn't have a storefront. Everybody, you may not see the work being done behind the scenes. So it's just nice to get these folks, out talking about their business, because a lot of people that are out there doing the work don't talk about it.
Right. And as professionals, you don't want to walk up to someone and say, look at me, I do real estate, right? Like it doesn't translate into anything because you feel like you're taking advantage of my time, and I may not feel comfortable at the time doing it. So you guys have this approach where let's get to know each other and then we take it from there. So I love how you guys are doing it. Recently, I seen you guys at the park, and you guys are just like glorifying that family life. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I miss those days for now, right? And I'm like, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it is what it is. Let them enjoy it, because
it ain't for the week.
It's definitely not for the week. And to the point of, I want to piggyback off of things that have happened in your life, right? You guys welcome this beautiful son of yours, right? And when we first got here, you didn't have him. So how's that changed your life today in real estate? I'll let Jay take it first, so she can finish up that part, right?
I think having a child like reaffirms your why,
right?
And it really grounds you. And the other aspect of it is, this little kid is watching everything you do,
right?
So I'm like, all right, I have to make sure not only am I doing the things that I say I'm going to do, the actions have to speak louder than the words.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that I'm the best dad I could possibly be, beyond anything else. Like that's the best title you can ever get in this world, as far as I'm concerned, is dad. But from the business standpoint, he definitely, like a wrecking ball, kind of just changed everything. Right. Before we could just leave the house whenever we wanted. We could go look at property, take a call whenever we needed. And now it's kind of like, all right, sometimes I'm in dad mode, Jen's in real estate mode. Sometimes I'm in real estate mode. Sometimes she's in mom mode. And we kind of balance that out. And sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm watching him for 3 hours while she's doing some work, and vice versa. So it's challenging, but I wouldn't change anything.
So he definitely helped you understand patience.
Yes. Yes.
Jen, I'll let you explain. Supermom, Wonder Mom, you do it all. It's just to watch you from afar and how you share that love that you got going on with your family is amazing. I just want to, again, send you flowers and respect what you got going on right now, because it's not easy. It isn't, because of all the noise you hear, but you're grounded, you're running your business, and again, you have that cape on 24/7. So how's that changed? I'm pretty much, you're going to say what Julian said, but I want you to say it in a better way.
Thank you
Yes,
for that. I really appreciate that. I'm like, is he potting right now? No. Or is he telling me the truth? But thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
We need to speak out loud, because I think some of us don't recognize each other when they're being parents. Like, it's okay to say, you're fucking doing a good job, man. Like, because growing up, I didn't have that. It was like, you need to do this, but no one says, oh, you're doing a good.
There's a lot of duty, right? Not, like you're doing this because you want to, and I acknowledge that.
Right. It's just appreciate it, man. Right. Yeah, so go into it, Jen.
Thank you. So I will say this, on a personal level, between Julius and I, we've been together going on 20 years. Okay.
Sounds like my wife and I.
So our life has seen a lot of changes. One of the things I didn't mention earlier is that I have a background in education, right? So I think that has been something that has been a very helpful anchor just in the business with our son. Right. So I want to start with that, right? And in starting with that, I think Julius and I also have had a pretty decent level of communication, all of these years. And the gaps that we had, I think we've been able to close in on some of those gaps because of having our son, right? Because the ship has to run tighter now, right? Like he said, our son is a ball of joy and light and love, and he is a wrecking ball, right?
He's a wrecking ball.
He is the combination of the two of us, and he's also he's a toddler, and he wants all of our attention all the time. And the times when you really have to get something done, that's when he wants to snuggle or like contact nap, right? So where I thought that I was efficient before, I'm realizing I could be more efficient, and I have to be more efficient because when he's up, he needs me. Or, when we have a client, this has to get done by this time. We no longer have the luxury of, we have all day to do this. Right. So, or you know what? Hey, if this doesn't get done now, it has to get done once he goes to bed. And, these are things that you appreciate once you do have a child, because you've heard people say these things before, but you don't fully understand it. Right. And it's hard to explain to somebody who maybe doesn't have a child. But I just would say it's made us fine tune things, define things more, and like Julius said, it defines our why a lot more too, because it's like, we want him to know what he can achieve. We want him to feel successful. We want him to see us as successful. Right. So, yeah.
No, you're right. It's different now when you see someone coming by, for an appointment, and now they're going in the back seat, taking out their kid. You're like, oh yeah, I know that feeling. 5 years ago, it was like, I'm gonna just wait for her to get, or him or her, get all settled in. We're just gonna chill here. We're gonna do whatever we need to do. Now it's like, okay, yeah, I know that feeling, right? And so you go to them, and again, you provide your experience and your value to your clients. So it's definitely having kids just change how I approach business.
Absolutely,
right? So,
he makes us better people.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, it makes us better real estate agents. Like we've gotten better, right? Which is, I think we're pretty good, but it's like, wow.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way, right? Some buyers, they feel intimidated. And we're considered counselors, right? When it's all said and done, right? Because they're coming in and they're trying to feel, okay, I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to look like, how much it's going to cost. Am I picking the right neighborhood? Am I picking the right investment? And it can feel overwhelming. And because you're tested through your family with having patience, you take a little bit of a relaxed approach where you're not being too aggressive and saying, okay, fine, let's map it out. Let bring comfort back, right? Let me see what you're looking for. Let's be practical with what you can do, and then we can take it from there. And believe it or not, it makes sense at that point, right? Because now they're, again, comfortable about what they're doing when it comes to the home purchase, right? So
we recognize that everybody who has a conversation with us, whether they're ready to move forward or they're not, again, has things going on in their life. There are uncertainties that they're experiencing, and we get to know them in a holistic way, not just as it pertains to real estate. Right. And that allows us to treat everybody the way we want to be treated, which is human.
Right. And you know what? When people actually let us in to their story, it allows us to do even better work.
Right.
So when people open up, let us know what their full story is. I mean, you don't have to tell everything, but if you give us enough, it allows us to manage your transaction, manage you in a way that is extremely helpful to us and for you. And not to be too personal, but when Jen was in labor, right, where all of these things are happening, right? You're a dad, you're in there, you're nervous, right. You see the monitors going off, all this stuff is going on. Jen got the chills, she's like shaking. I don't know what's going on,
right?
And I was about to like tell the doctors like, hey, what's going on? Like you need to update me.
Right.
And what I realized was they had done this so many times
right.
that everything Jen was experiencing, they dealt with it already.
Right.
So they were calm. And a light bulb went off for me. And I was like, when we're going through these transactions, especially with first time home buyers, we're so calm because we've seen it before.
Right.
And sometimes we can miss that, okay, we need to have an extra conversation with somebody to help them through their emotions, through their feelings, and just manage their expectations. So it's funny, like him being born, again, it just made me a better agent, just much more aware of everything, you know?
You know, I don't know what the hell. Did you guys read my notes? Because after she like as I'm going to the next one, check he answered that. And we didn't share the notes. It's like, how buyers getting stuck. Boom, he just answered that right there. I'm like, what the hell? There's nothing. If you're looking for ISAs and marketing, please contact J. Lopez Enterprise, servicing all 50 states. I appreciate you guys for how much value add to one purchasing a home or listing their home. I mean, these guys are methodical, man. I mean, I'm not, again, they're in front of me. I talk about them behind their back and in front of their back. What you guys got going on as a team is amazing. So Jen, we talked about community. We talked about what you do and how you provide value to buyers and sellers. My question is, what do you see moving forward with the current real estate market?
So in this very moment, we are lucky to live in the area that we live in. Right. I know the rest of the country has seen some changes.
Right.
Okay. And I will say there's been a slight change, but not like what we're seeing everywhere else. Okay. There are still buyers looking. We're seeing inventory go up slightly in the market.
Right.
It may stay on the market a little bit longer than it was before, but it's still selling for over asking.
Right.
And we're still seeing multiple offers.
That was getting questions. Some people are holding off. They're like, nah, I want the rates to be at 5s. I'm like, I don't know. That could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. Yeah. Right. Because if it gets low enough to where you're bringing a pool in.
Yes.
You're going back to increasing the home prices. And your numbers guy too. We've seen home appreciate 8-10% more than usual, and income has not gotten kept up. So there is some concerns, right? So you have to be careful what you ask for, right? And so to the point of, yes, inventory's changing a tad. There's no more 50% over ask, right? That's not happening. But to your point, the 3 to 10% over ask is still happening in some markets, right? And so we'll see what happens, right? To fulfill what you were saying, the changes are happening different parts of the country, but specifically in New Jersey, that, depending on the town, you may see good or bad with it.
Yeah, listen, for years we've been hearing people saying, I can't wait until the rates drop. When are the rates going to drop? And you bring up a valid point. The more the rates drop, the more buyers come into the market. Right. And for us in this area, it makes the price of the houses skyrocket because you're still, just a handful of buyers that want the same house and you're still bidding on the house. Right. So, before during COVID, maybe there were 20 offers on a house. Maybe now there's 5 to 10. Okay. Right. And the end result is the same. Right. So lowered rates don't necessarily help, you in your situation. What we do encourage everybody to do is the minute they start thinking that I do need a change, whatever that change may be, we tell them you need to speak to your lender. Right. Okay. You need to run your numbers. You need to figure out what steps you need to take. Even if you think it's too early, you need to speak to a lender and figure out what those steps need to be so you can start working on them. Right. So that when you are ready to move forward, you can do so. Right.
So Julius, I'm going to speak to you on the investor side, right? We've seen home appreciation, going back to I started the conversation, go up a lot, right? So if you bought a house 6, 7, 8 years ago, you got a lot of equity. Yeah. So how are you having some of the conversations with those who own homes already are thinking about investing?
Some people are talking about investing and some people aren't, right? Right. I think with everything that's happening in this economy, there's people that are like not sure what they want to do. Like I talk to a gentleman at least once a week who owns a home. He's trying to figure out what his next investment's going to be. But I can tell he's having cold feet because he's like, I don't know where this economy is going. Right. Right.
So the uncertainty is real.
Yeah, uncertainty is real. Right. But this is the thing. When uncertainty being real, and I think it's a genuine fear that people have right now with our economy. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. But that's probably the perfect time to buy because everybody else is scared. Right. That's the time for you to get an investment and take advantage of the opportunity. You should try to buy when other people aren't buying and sell when other people aren't selling. Right.
It's this, it's this the hustle thing. Bad boys move in silence, right? Right. Yeah. It's just like the noise is the noise. There's nothing you can do about it. That shouldn't dictate if you're going to go in or not. The question is when you have that conversation with that person, you're asking, hey, look, you have X amount of equity. There's a building that's going to be built in this area here. It's gentrifying in a positive way. It's becoming metropolitan-ish. This is a perfect time. There's a lot of money in your home. Don't use your house. Again, do not use your house as a bank, right? Hell no, absolutely not. Do not get fooled by that. But if there's a situation where it allows you to make more money and they consult with you because parts of New Jersey where you can see the upside, this is where, the skills come in, right? Show them the numbers. Jim, take a look at this. What do you think he's got with this? Jen, before we provide this to our client, what do you think about this, Jen? Have you seen certain things happen take place, right? Right. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going back and forth with ideas. And then Jay at the end is like, okay, this is what it is. Yeah. I understand you're nervous, but if we look at the timeline, this can definitely make lots of money for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the house we sold in Newark earlier this year. Same thing. The buyer was nervous. Right. It's an investment property. And it's like, should I do this or shouldn't I do this? I'm like, look, it's a block from University Hospital. Right. Right. It's 10 minutes from Penn Station. Like, you have to put your pros and your cons down on a sheet of paper. I always tell clients that put your pros and your cons down. If your pros are out exceeding your cons, then
kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah. And of course you look at the math. Right. Like if you're getting a 6 to 7%, cap rate on something, I know that's like, not a high cap rate, but it's enough to make cash flow. Right. Then buy the property, because eventually what'll happen is that cap rate will go up. Right. Your rents will go up. Your home will appreciate. the market, we haven't seen the market actually go down.
No.
It's just
Right.
constantly going up. So, and even if we do get to a point where it plateaus, you still have an asset that you can hold on to that's building your wealth.
Right. And again, assets do that well as stocks, as well as different investment vehicles. But what's interesting about Julius and Jennifer can share, Newark 10 years ago is not Newark today.
Absolutely not.
Right.
Right. On broke days, you could take the path into the city. Right. Let's call it what it is. Right. And if you're scared, you're nervous. If you're coming from New York, you're like, oh my God, I don't know, going across the Hudson. Talking to these professionals, the Scott team, they can elaborate what does scare mean, because they can back it up with numbers that you guys do so well when you're providing, when one's thinking about buying a home or investing into the community. Because like I said, I worked at Prudential. I remember walking down Horsley. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I would go to the path to go hang out in the city. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And I'm like, I'm used to it because I'm from Brooklyn. But try going to Horsley now. Try going on near 21 now. All you see is between Shaq Building, Queen Latifah, NJ Pack. Anytime you see big corporations invest in these communities, follow the money, follow the business. They're not listening to, oh my God, I didn't, something happened, I didn't make enough money. No, they believe that there's going to be an opportunity, especially when you're talking about the proximity to New York City, right? You don't got to go to Jersey City. Newark is right there, right? So
18 to 20 minute train ride and you're in New York City.
And there's always something to do. I mean, what was this, maybe 3 weeks ago? We were at Halsey Fest.
I saw that. That's why I mentioned Newark.
It was a festival on a Thursday afternoon. The sense of community that has always existed and that has grown over the years. I mean, anybody can look to Brooklyn as an example. Right? Like Brooklyn 10, 20 years ago isn't what it is now. So
yeah, that's why I wanted to incorporate the community in Newark, because I saw you guys at the fair. And I was like, wait, these guys at the fair, like Newark. I'm like, okay, look at this. I'm like, I'm pretty sure many years ago, it wasn't as comfortable going down there, right? You had to be from the neighborhood to be like, yeah, I'm going to head up this spot in Newark. But now it's changed tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have to get rid of the
stigma, right? That's what I was going to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Newark has its challenges, right? Like any city,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot there that that people can enjoy. I mean, again, 20 minutes from the city. I feel like the city does a great job engaging the community. There's a lot. I mean, they do a lot of concerts, free concerts.
Right. Yep.
I mean, they really try to get the people out. And I think that Newark is a place, and some investors already get it. They get that Newark is a great place to invest. Right. I think there's a whole host of a population that doesn't see that. But just to give an example, like a 2-family house recently, earlier this summer, it went for over $1 million.
In Newark.
Yeah.
I'm just like $1 million in Newark, right?
And it's not, and that's not the only one. Like there's multiple ones. And then a few years ago in the north end of Newark in the Forest Hill section, someone paid $1 million for a single family home. So that just lets you know that people are seeing value in Newark and they're hedging their bet that this city is going to completely change.
Absolutely. I'm a transplant, so I've seen lots of changes in Essex County. Speaking of Essex County, dear to your heart, you guys are up and down Bloomfield Avenue, but you guys love Montclair and Bloomfield a lot. Can you talk? You said me too. Me too. Can you talk about some of the housing market that's actually happening in Montclair right now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I looked at some of the stats. I think they're still at like 2 months of inventory, so it's still very much. And the same thing for Bloomfield. It's, so very much a seller's market. Okay. We do see that homes are making it to the next weekend, which is not typical for our area. Mm-hmm. But I think that has a lot to do with like the price point. If it's, in a more comfortable price point for people, like under, if it's listed at like 9 something to $1 million, those are still going pretty quickly. It's the ones that are like 2 million and above that are going taking a little bit longer, which is crazy because Montclair, to sell a $2 million house in a weekend is absolutely absurd. And that's what it's been like for who knows how long now. It's been forever. So, I mean, I just think that also with that market, I think buyers are just starting to be a little bit more savvy. They're being, they're using a little bit more judgment and not just jumping out the window as much, especially when you have rates where they are. So, but overall, I mean, it's still a seller's market. Everybody still wants to be in Montclair. Often when we have conversations with buyers, we talk about the different towns in Essex County, and Montclair is normally on people's like list as the number one choice.
It's the reason why I came to New Jersey.
Yeah. and then what they find out is it's still expensive. And Bloomfield offers opportunity for people to get into buying a home and be Montclair adjacent. You can still partake on Bloomfield Avenue, all the downtown areas, and you're not paying the same taxes, and your home price is a lot less. So,
You talked about the buy side, Julius. So I'm going to go to Jennifer, of course, with the listing side. How do you prepare to list a home in Montclair, Bloomfield?
Well, one of the first things we do, we talk with the owners or owner and try to understand why they're moving. Right. Because sometimes people come and talk to us and say they want to sell their house. And by the end of our conversation, we're like, you may want to reconsider that. There may be some other options for you. Keep it, do X, Y, and Z with it. And maybe let's revisit this conversation. But if we do end up moving forward, then, it's the figuring out of cleaning it out, decluttering, staging, the power washing, those sorts of things, ensuring that once we do get it onto the market, it's being represented in its best light, with photography, videography.
Do you still, at that price point, do you still hire stagers to help, bring the property the oomph that it needs?
Yeah, absolutely. Although it depends on the situation. It depends on what's already in the house. Can we use things that are in the house? If not, then we can bring a stager in. But a lot of times, homeowners have things that maybe just need to be repurposed and used
just
in a
wipe it
different
down
room.
a little bit,
Wipe it down. So those sorts of things, and just always making sure that we are the mouthpiece for the property also. Julius and I being from New Jersey, nothing against transplants, but
hater.
I'm not hating. No, we love you. But the fact that we're from New Jersey, we know a lot of people in the area, outside of the area, that often do bring attention to the home. So, I want to go back to the transplant thing. A lot of us are maybe products of transplants. So, to some degree, a lot of folks who live in the area have come from New York. So.
Again, that's going back to the story that you provide out there, right? Like, welcome to this, whatever, whether it be a 1-bedroom condo, 2-bedroom condo, $600,000 house, $2 million house. You guys put the same effing energy throughout the whole process. That shit is amazing. Like, again, I'm giving them flowers because I see it. I'm like, I be pointing to my missus, like, look at these guys. Because sometimes you do see, I'm not calling it out, but you do see inconsistencies based on the price point. And you guys have, same template. You guys are my life. So let's do it.
So Julius and I laugh about this all the time because people will reach out to us on social media asking like, hey, I need to move, but I'm looking for like a 1-bedroom apartment to rent, or I'm looking for like a 1-bedroom condo. I see you have all these luxury listings or you have all these luxury clients. Is this something you do? Or somebody will come to us and say like, hey, we have our mom who needs to sell a house and she bought it. It has a deed restriction. is this something you do? And it's like they're almost waiting for us to come back and say like, no, we don't do that.
Right.
And that is never the answer. Right. If you need our help, we have the expertise and we will help you. If for some reason there is something that we don't do, or I don't know, we're not well versed in it or something, we will be upfront with you about that, right? Like our job isn't to know everything. So I just want to be very clear about that. We work with everybody. I'll say this right now. Right now we have $1 million listing on the market. Right. And we also have rental listings. We work with everybody.
Right. You do it all.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Is it fair to say that? I mean, like I said, that's why I'm letting the world know how you guys do it. Because again, to your point, right? Some have that conversation. Oh, you only do this. You're not going to sell my 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. I'm like, no. Remember, your conversations, you don't know where it's coming from, where it can lead to other opportunities. So why would you treat anything less than?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
We treat our clients like family. And one of the foundational things for me is I went to St. Benedict's Prep in downtown Newark. Right. And over every door it says, whatever hurts my brother hurts me. And I really took that, it means so much to me. Right. So I try to help other people as much as I can. And my first job that I ever had out of college was at MBNA Bank. MBNA. It got purchased by Bank of America. But over every door, it says, think of yourself as a customer. Right. And that also, it goes hand in hand. Whatever hurts my brother hurts me. Think of yourself as a customer. And one of the founders of MBNA went to St. Benedict's. Oh, wow. So it makes sense that's over the door. Right. And I think that's the approach we try to take. We try to treat everybody with love. And in this world right now, we need more of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the hugs are out there. Like we can't hug it right now. Yeah. So I love how you talk about that. Looking for insurance to insure your home or automobile? Please contact Alexia at Allstate, located in New Providence, New Jersey, servicing clients in the state of New Jersey. So what does the Scott team mean to you? Because you guys have a reputation, you have a strong business portfolio, you're raising your family. What do you want the world to know about the Scott team? I'll start with Julius first.
That we're authentic, transparent. We don't try to put on for anything. Like when you talk to us, you're going to get an authentic person in front of you. We're not chasing the sale. We're trying to give people as much information as we possibly can so they can make a good decision, right? It's not about selling houses. I say that to Jen all the time. I'm actually not in the business of selling houses. I'm in the business of educating people on what they need to know in order to buy or sell their home. Right. They make their own decision on what they need to do after they've been given all the necessary information, facts for their particular situation. So I think for us, that means a lot to us. We genuinely believe that and take that to heart.
Yeah, Jen, I don't know how you follow up with that. So Jen, from your perspective, how do you see the Scott? How do you want the world to know about the Scott team?
So we could have picked any name, right, to represent our team.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
But our last name, I want it to ring bells. Okay.
Yeah.
I want it to carry respect. When you hear the Scott team NJ, you know that Jennifer and Julius are about their business, that they will always respect you. And I want you to know that we care very deeply about going to bed at night without reservation. So we do care that we work with integrity, honesty. We never want a client to turn around and say, I didn't know that. And so with that, we always make sure that we educate our clients, that we share possibilities or hiccups or anything that could come down the line during their transaction or things that we may see kind of hovering around their situation, right? So that they're never blindsided but we do care that, we don't have commission breath. Okay. That's a thing. Like when you feel like you're telling me this because you want to sell my house, or you're telling me this because you want me to buy this house, that is never the case. We will give you the real, and we will always present you with facts, right? That's something we always say. We're going to share this data with you, and we're going to let the data talk to you. But this is also our opinion surrounding this data, because at the end of the day, we've purchased property before. We know what it's like to feel represented or not represented. And we want everybody who walks away from us to be happy. We never want somebody to call us in 6 months and say, why did you let me buy this house? Or I shouldn't have sold my house. Why'd you let me sell my house? Right. So that's, for us, a crux of our business.
That's when experience and education kicks in. Wow, that was a good quote. Woo, I don't even got to come up with that one. Okay. I'm happy you came second. You went second. I'm happy you went second. I don't know how Jay was going to overcome that one. But again, the Scott team, when you see them, put some respect on it. Again, thank you guys so much for coming on Let's Talk About It. If the world is looking for you, I'll start with Jen, of course. Where can they find you?
On Instagram, you can follow me at Realtor Jen Scott.
Right.
You can follow our website and see what we've got going on there, www.thescottteamnj.com. You can email us at jennifer.scott@cbmoves.com, or you can reach Julius at julius.scott@cbmoves.com.
Julius, if the world is looking for you, especially Let's Talk About It community, where can they find you?
Actually, they could find me right on Realtor Jen, right? Because I'm not the social media whiz, she is.
Right.
So I just share, but my actual Instagram is JRSIII. It's literally my initials, Julius Ramsey Scott III.
And if he's not on social media, he's at Madison Square Garden. You're like, Jay, where are you? I'm right here. I got you. Let's the game finish first, and then I'll get back to you, right? Others, if you're looking for Let's Talk About It, I'm on your favorite streaming platform, wherever that is, Amazon, Apple, again, Spotify. Again, I'm out there. Again, Jimmy Mortgage. Thank you guys for your time.
Definitely.
Thanks for having us, Jimmy.
Of course. Hey, listeners, are you looking to improve your home comfort and save on your energy bills? Let's talk about Seal Power. They've been awarded Energy Star Sustained Excellence Award, seen on Good Morning America, the New York Times, and World News. Seal Power is dedicated to keeping your home cozy while saving money. Check out their website for tips and incentives and more at CIELPOWER.com. Stay comfortable and save with Seal Power, where comfort meets efficiency. Follow them on Instagram for updates and more, and Let's Talk About It as well. Thank you.